Gather up your projects, settle in your favorite spot. It's time to stitch with Sarah at her stitchy Camelot. Let's celebrate each other, this community we've got. It's time to get down to Sarah's stitchy spot.
Hello everyone, my name is Sarah. Welcome to my FlossTube channel, where we will discuss and celebrate all things cross-stitch. Grab your favorite beverage, get comfortable, and join me
at Sarah's stitchy spot.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and this is FlossTube number 87. It is Wednesday, November the 5th. I think that's right. Yes, November the 5th, 2025, and I would like to take this moment to welcome each and every one of you to my FlossTube channel. As I do at the beginning of every video, I send love, hugs, and kisses to my husband, Stan, for writing and performing the intro song that you just heard. If you are new to my FlossTube channel, welcome. We have a fabulous group here, and I am glad always to meet new stitchers. We are so fortunate in this community because we have so many FlossTubes to choose from. So as a lot of us say, I may not be your cup of tea, but there will be someone out there that is. But anyway, welcome. I hope if you like what you see, you will subscribe, share, ring the bell, like, and do all the things that we do on FlossTube. And for all my returning viewers and subscribers, hello. It is so good to see you all. And you know, after every Zoom, I just feel like that I can look out there and see so many of you, and it is just one of the highlights of my life. So anyway, we've got some things to go over, and I think that we will jump in. Speaking of Zooms, now as we discussed on the last Zoom, I'm going to pause our every 2-week Sunday Zooms until the first of the year, just in honor of or in recognition of the hugely busy schedules that we tend to all have around the holidays, which I think have pretty formally started. They certainly have in the stores. But we had a lovely Zoom Sunday with just an incredible group of women, and a lot of them new to the Zoom call, which was just lovely. And the magic wand swirled, and we had this incredible group of stitchers that showed their projects, what they're stitching on, and the uniqueness of everyone's stitching is just always a glory to see. We did have a FlossTuber. I did not have a surprise guest FlossTuber because I had to change the day of my Zoom from Sunday to Saturday, and it was just wonderful that so many of you were still able to make it. But we did have Kathy from Kathy's Quilts and Stitching, and Kathy has a video, FlossTube, and I did not know about that. But so I want to encourage you all to go and take a look at her FlossTube. I met Kathy at Stitch North, and she has just been a dear friend ever since, and she is a lovely woman and a very talented woman. So please go take a look and subscribe and give her all the good stuff that we can do as a community. Okay, so I don't have to, we won't be going through the 10 names for the next FlossTube, and I will tell you when to start again putting Zoom in your comment when we get ready for our next one in the new year. So we did have a giveaway. I'm trying to intersperse in some of my videos highlighting one of our international designers, and last time it was Diana Bloom Designs, and Diana is from Canada, and she is an incredible designer. She has a Patreon, she has a presence on Instagram, and I will have all those things linked below. But the giveaway was for you to go to Etsy, which I had also linked below, and look at her beautiful charts, maybe buy some, and then be thinking about, if I called your name, what chart you would like for me to purchase from Diane, and she will send that PDF to you. That way, you know, it can go, I can make it for everyone. It's really hard to say just for the people in the United States, but tragically, when we're mailing things these days, we kind of have to watch out for that. But the winner of the PDF from Diana Bloom Designs is Ale Kate Stitches. Is that right? Stitches. I'll be running the thing across, and I'm just so happy for Kate. You will have seen her name run across. Kate is an incredible stitcher, and if you're on Instagram and you are not following her, oh, I encourage it so much, because she's just incredible, and you will just see so much fabulous eye candy. So Kate, if you will shoot me an email and give me your email address, which I probably have, but just to be safe, if you'll send that to me and the name of the pattern that you would like from Diana, we will get that off to you. So congratulations, Kate, and thank you for all your support for my channel. So this week, I wanted to I thought I would pass the stash and give away one of the charts that I had finished that I very much loved to stitch, and that was Red Rhapsody. And in holding this up, I really need to get this framed because it is so gorgeous. And this is a Rosewood Manor, is that right? Rosewood Manor design, Karen Kluba. And so I would like to share this with someone. And the giveaway word will be red, and I will run that across the bottom. So if you will put that in a comment, I will select by the random generator picker for next video. So just look how gorgeous this is. You know, I should have gotten mine out so that you could see it, but it's absolutely, you know what, I will, because I can pause for a minute and I'll be right back. And through the magic of editing, here is my finish of that chart. I stitched this on a 36 count antique white, and I used Gentle Arts Schoolhouse Red. Isn't that gorgeous? I've got to get this framed. Simply must. So if you will put red in the comment, I will choose one of you and I will get that chart off to you, because we should always have a red sampler going, right? Okay, so that is the giveaway. I did have a new floss tuber that I wanted to give a shout out to, and that is Laura of Laura's Craft Room. Laura lives in Canada, and she is just delightful. I can just tell that she is a very sweet person, a very kind person. She likes modern folk embroidery, she likes long dog, and she has an absolutely gorgeous finish of Pandemic. So I think she only has the one video out so far. So please go and welcome her to the community, and subscribe and like and share, and get her on the road to sharing her stitching with all of us. So, okay. I want to encourage everyone to get a ticket to the Jingle Ball hosted by Stephanie of Lindy Stitches. I talked on my last video about maybe finding a buddy. There was a photo bomb of Stan. I tried to get him to come on today and tell a joke, but he's going to be thinking about one. But you could come back and just wave since you photo bombed. But anyway, okay. Are you going to wave? I think he's checking the fire. We had to build a fire today. It is cold and dreary and rainy. We did not even get to go on a walk this morning, and Annie is not a fan of the rain, and we're having a little trouble getting her to go outside. So I'm suspecting that she might be a little miserable right now. But anyway, okay, boy, did I go off on a tangent. So what was I going to say? Oh, about Jingle Ball. And, you know, you can get your tickets. I think there were some of the classes that you could still sign up for to get the kit. All of the classes are still available if you get the PDF only and kit it up from your own stash. So there are some incredible projects. I did get to see the stitching for the needle book by Hands-On Design that is on perforated paper. And Kathy on our Zoom call had finished the stitching and is ready for the class, and it absolutely looks gorgeous. So if you can get your hands on some perforated paper, I encourage you to sign up for that class. But what we talked about was the buddy system, where if you have a friend or you know of someone that may be a little apprehensive about doing a virtual retreat for the first time, that you could sort of buddy up with them and let them know when you're in a stitching room and help them get the full experience. So that is Jingle Ball. And then as far as the Historical Sampler Company, the November Cotton and Twine box is available through the end of the month. So they are selling those through the entire month now. You have 3 options. You can subscribe and you can get the full box, which is around 20 to 22 pounds. You can get the just the chart, the fabric, and he's gonna wave. Stan. There he is. You can get the the floss, the fabric, and the chart for around 14 pounds, or you can get just the PDF of the chart, and that's around 7 pounds. So I will have been running some pictures across the bottom of the screen. I mean, through as I'm talking of what the new gift box will look like. So I haven't received mine yet, and I will show that to you when I get it. But the box is ready and on sale, and I will have those links below. They do have a coupon code, which is FIRST15. For 15% off if it's your first purchase or your first subscription. So again, I have really enjoyed working with Historical Sampler Company. Joanne and Suzanne are just fabulous. So, okay. So I think I got our business out of the way fairly quickly. So I don't have any finishes per se, but I do have 2 things that I have made. I have 3 new starts. I have all of my whips, which were probably down a little bit from last time. And oh my goodness, we have shares. Oh, we have to do our shares because that is one of the most popular features, I think, of my video. So let's just dive into that. So, all right. My dear friend Anka, who lives in Germany, I have several pieces of hers that I'm going to show. She photographs them so beautifully, and so let's just dive in. The first one is Autumn Trio by Brenda Gervais. She stitched this on 40 count old sheep linen from XU Design, and she used all the charted threads. The next piece is Halloween Pin Keep by Stacy Nash. She stitched this on a 40 count white mustard linen from XU Design. And the next piece is Toil and Trouble Pin Keep by Stacy Nash. Did she type that twice? No, Halloween Pin Keep, I'm so sorry. And then it's Toil and Trouble Pin Keep, also by Stacy Nash, stitched on 40 count white mustard from XU Design. The Prairie Schooler are the Santas, and these are clockwise. So it is 2023, 2022, 2009, and 2021. And they were all stitched on 40 count aged hazelnut, again from XG Design, who just dyes fabulous fabrics. And she used the Dinky Dye silks. Next is Feels Like Fall from Brenda Gervais. She stitched this on a 36 count Regency linen from Picture This Plus, and she used all the charted threads, but she did substitute the Weeks Dye Work hazelnut for the classic Colorworks hazelnut. So that was the first group that she sent me. The next group included, I know I'm going to, this is a lot of French words. Bon Beau Sapin, and it's by Torchon Design, by Les, I can't, Broadruis Parisine, I'm so sorry, I don't speak French. It was stitched on a 28 count linen, and the DMCs that were included with the design. She did stitch this with 2 strands of floss over 2 strands of linen threads. The next one is Oh Christmas Tree by Hands On Design. She stitched these on 40 count linen with a Versoix, both from her stash. The next one are the 12 Days of Christmas. These are just darling. This is a design by Annie Belcher. She stitched these on 36 count opalescent gray smoke linen from XG Design, and she used mostly the charted DMCs. And these do have some back stitching. But oh my goodness, I know I just massacred all that French, and I hate to do it, but Anka, thank you so much for sending these. They are gorgeous. They are inspiring. My next share is from Angie. And Angie is, as I mentioned last time, my 1/1 cheerleader. And she redid Maggie May, and you will see them next to each other. But she stitched it 1/1 on 46 count. Shall I repeat that? 1/1 on 46 count. So you can see the two side by side, and they are just precious. Now let's see if she goes back and does all the ones that she's done 1/1 on 46. But Angie, you are just a master at that. So thank you for sending that. Next, this is from Robbie, and Robbie had the chart Pet All the Dogs. And so, of course, as she was watching me, she knew that I was doing Pet All the Dogs in memory of Chester. She started it on December 24th and then really started working on it in August. And she wanted to personalize it, and so that sort of evolved as she stitched. She started with thinking about changing it to Love All the Dogs, then Love All My Dogs, and then Loved All My Dogs, which is so sweet. And she used it to memorialize all the pups that she has owned since the 3rd grade, which was approximately 1958 or 1959. She had mutts, basset hounds, chihuahuas, German shepherds, poodles, 4 St. Bernards, Australian shepherds, and 6 labs. She did not discriminate. She still has 2 labs, 8 years old, and they will be the last, she said, because of her age. She has worked in home health, and she knows that it's so hard for pets when the owners can no longer take care of them. So, Robbie, that is absolutely beautiful, and I am so glad not only did you send me your finish, but that you shared the story behind it. So thank you. The next one is from Michael. Michael is my friend from Dallas, and this is his finish of Jessie Challenor from Hands Across the Sea. He stitched it on a 36 count fence by Seraphim, and he used the called for Swadesh silks in the bright colorway. Michael, it's stunning. Congratulations. This is a fabulous chart, and you did a fabulous job. So, and then my last piece is from Tanya. And Tanya was so kind when I asked her if she would send this to me, because she stitched the moth stitch, which was a free pattern from Diana Bloom Designs Patreon. And she didn't have the Roxy floss, but she picked her own threads, and she stitched the antenna in satin stitch. So Tanya, thank you. I did see her finish, and I thought, or she mentioned that she had finished it, and I thought how lovely and appropriate on the FlossTube where we were highlighting Diana, her designs, to be able to show that to you. So thank you so much. So those are our shares. I mean, how absolutely fabulous, and how lucky we are that we can celebrate the stitching and be inspired by the stitching of others. So, okay, I'm going to take a little drink, and then we'll dive into my stitching. Okay, so I had 3 new starts, so let's just go right to them. And my first new start was the Hum of the Garden. And this is also by Diana Bloom Designs, and she gifted this pattern to me. Thank you, Diana, because you guys all know how much I love hummingbirds. So I'm going to stitch this on 36 count Summer Sky by XU Designs, and I'm using the called for DMCs. I don't have them all on floss drops yet, but you can sort of see these are going to be the colors. Aren't they gorgeous? And I did, this is a Mrs. Seda silk that was for DMC 500. So I'm going to substitute that in and try to use some of my silk stash. And this is my progress thus far. So it's just a small start, but it's not a very big chart overall. So this is what I've done. So this is one of the flowers right here, and I'm starting the stem work here. So I know it's just a little start, but you can't finish it until you start it. So thank you, Diana, so much for that. I will look forward to stitching that. So now I'm going to have quite a few hummingbirds going, right? Because I started the pollinator sampler from Bud Puppy Stitchery, Kinsey. And so I have that one. And then when I get really brave to start the one that Mary of Mary Stitcher sent me, the Zippy pattern. Okay, so my next new start, this was like a gift from one of the organizers of the Vintage Stitchers Retreat that I went to in November of last year. And I hadn't started it yet, but she sent us, or she gave us, Autumn Quaker by Primrose Cottage. And I've never done a Primrose Cottage chart. And it had the finishing pack as well. So you can see, I know there's a bit of a glare, but it's just gorgeous. And I chose to stitch this on a piece of 36 count tabby cat that was left over, just the ticket, which was left over from stitching Ursula's sampler. And I chose this heavenly cotton, overdyed cotton from Stitchy Stuff in the color Nutmeg. And wait till you see the variegation on that. It's absolutely stunning. So this is my progress so far. And I just hope, I know it's not showing up as well, but there is just a gorgeous subtle variegation in that. and I'm quite enjoying it. It's really fun. So I see the great attraction of these Quakers from Primrose Cottage. So that was my second start. Okay, and my third start was, you get it here, Be Not a Dunce by Mama Loves You GB. And I started this for Black Sampler November, which was a hashtag started by Jacob of Modern Folk Embroidery. And I am stitching this on a piece of 56 count Café au lait by Zweigart, and I am using a Soie Surfine in the color Noir. So this is my progress so far. So look how sweet. So I just love this. I guess Ann Campion's not going to be called in my whip go until December, but December should turn her into a finish if I work at it. But that is another black sampler that I have going. I have always wanted to stitch this piece because that Be Not a Dunce just cracks me up. And from an 8-year-old, no less. So those were my 3 new starts. I can put this one up so that I don't lose my Soie Surfine. Okay, and then so I guess one of these actually is a fully finish. And that, I made a project bag with the Pennsylvania Christmas deer sampler. Isn't that beautiful? And let's see, I think I actually lined this with, I lined it with, and then you'll see this again. But the other important thing about this is that I purchased these fabrics from Maureen's Craft Cottage. It's an Etsy store. She's actually in Southern California. And I heard about her from Sean, the Periwinkle Stitcher. And the fabric is fabulous. I just love it. So I will put her information down below. It was packaged beautifully. It came quickly. There was this little card with the 2 little clips and your invoice, and they were all packed in this cute little bag with the thank you on it. And but I'm trying to build up my Christmas project bags, which I didn't have any. So if you remember, or if you're new, I stitched Pennsylvania Christmas Deer by Shakespeare's Peddler on, this is a 36 count red cedar from Cedar River Linen Designs. And so because I had just a little bit left over of the lining, I made a second bag, and then I made a covered button that is like a needle minder, and then I put these little doodads on there. I still had some of these smaller zippers, not the purse style, so I'm trying to use those up. So I'm not going to show you the lining because it doesn't match at all, and I don't want to, because the fabric is so gorgeous. So those were the 2 project bags that I made since I've seen you last. They just make me so happy. Okay, so I think we're ready to dive into whips. So let's get my chair where it's reachable. We'll take a drink and we'll get going. I do want to show you my book of days. So November is just started. And I now have 39 starts for the year, and 19 finishes. So that's where we are. Okay, so here is Aria's stocking, and this is a Wildlife Christmas by Cooler Classic Designs. And I promise you all in January, because I do have this in Markup XP, I'm going to look at it, carefully calculate out how many stitches need to be done so we don't go through another Vince, whatever that was, trying to get the stocking done for Christmas, because this is promised to Aria for Christmas of 2026. And this, I'm stitching this on a 14 count Aida. I'm using the called for DMC, and let's see. So this is where I am. Of course, a lot of the stitching now is, because I know the owl was finished last time. So I worked down in here. I think these are the antlers. Let me look, because yeah, the antlers of the deer that's going to have all this garland in it. And then I'm always trying to start filling in a lot of the sky. But I think that that's where I worked since I've seen you guys last. And I apologize for all the dangling threads, but there are a lot of color changes. So that is going to be, that's going to be Aria's stocking. Okay. And I do my Christmas, I dedicate Sundays to Christmas stitching, and so I usually do work at least a little bit on her stocking on that day. So my next one is, since I've seen you last, this is to finish off the days that are owed to it from October's Whip Go, and that was Winter Wonderland by Blackbird Designs. And I'm stitching this on a 36 count Lichen by Tabby Cat. I'm pretty sure this was a gift from Steph of Lake Girl Stitches. And I'm using the called for over dyed floss, but I did substitute the Weeks Dye Work Pepperoncini for the Classic Colorworks Pea Pod. So this is where I am. So I finished this tree. I put the N in. I know I did the K and the L. I have started coming across on the roof and probably did a little more on the bones of the border. So that is Winter Wonderland. You know, this white is really not, it shows up better with me, but the house is white, and I am going to pick a white that is showing up just a little bit better. But I love it. So that is Winter Wonderland. And so through the month of October, I have kept up with the goals, I guess, that I established for myself for Whip Go so far, and I've really enjoyed it. But I will tell you all that I am really seriously considering, and I can start this anytime. I may not even wait till 2026, but I like this temperature stitching, this picking some whips, and if I understand it correctly, you assign a number to them of 0 through 9. Then you can look to the forecasted temperatures or the actual high temperature of the day, and the second digit of the temperature, or I guess in the hot days, it would be the third digit of temperature, that matches to your project, then you can decide how many stitches that you want. So if I do get that set up, I will let you all know, but I kind of like that. So we'll see. But anyway, it's a great, and I wish I could remember who started that. I don't. I know Andrew, the Runner Stitcher, is doing it, but I don't think it was his idea. And I'm not sure if it's Jessie Marie Does Stuff that, that is the mastermind of Whip Go. So if I find out between now and when I edit, I will run the name across. So Okay, by next, I got a little more work done on a Friday for Bird Friday on Mary Barton's work by Mojo Stitches. I am stitching this on a 40 count linen prairie grass by Seraphim, and I'm using a mixture of the DMC and overdyed floss. So I'll try to get that without the, such a beautiful chart. So where I worked this time is still not a whole lot because I divided up between this and Birds of a Feather. So I worked over and got all of this done. I think I've finished this part right here, and then this is going to be some of the greenery and flowers right here. So that is Mary Barton's work. I love it. I'm really liking bird stitching. Thank you, Kim. Anyway, okay, so that comes out on Fridays. All right. Along with this chart, which is Birds of a Feather circled together. No. Oh, it is. Birds of a Feather circled together. Kim, Contented Needleworker, did just have a finish on this. And I stitched along with her on the day she took it to a finish. So, yay. And I'm stitching this on a 36 count love letter by Color and Cotton. And I'm using the colors from the back of the chart and using the call for DMC. So this is where I am. And last time I said I only had 2 more birds, but I actually have 3. But I've almost finished the 4th bird here, and then I will have 2 birds left. So I worked on this bird right here. So it's just, oh, I absolutely cannot wait to get this finished. So that's Birds of a Feather circled together by Mama Loves You GB. Okay. There are bird charts to be done, which is, it's just wonderful. Okay. My next chart is my red sampler chart, and I work on those on Thursday. And currently, I am working on a French Fancy, also by Mama Loves You GB. And I am stitching this on a 56 count coffee au lait as well, with the Soie Surfing in the number 2644. So this is my progress. So I'm almost to the edge, right? Well, this is the edge, but I wanted to bring this around so I could start going down. So the M, N, and O are there. So I'm starting on the P. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. So that is a French Fancy by Mama Loves You GB. And I work on that on Thursdays. Okay. I just saw something that I left out of a bag, and I wanted to stick that in really quick so that I don't lose it. Okay. So next we have Baldequin's Birdies, but before I go into that, Andrew did his marathon, so yay, I'm so proud of him. And I know that, it is beyond my imagination, first of all, running a marathon and actually running a mile. But anyway, I'm just very proud of you, Andrew. And not only am I proud of you for running the marathon, I think you have been such an asset to this community, because you can see, if you're on Instagram, you can just see all the stitching that has been done by so many, and they finished projects for the hashtag Whip into Shape. So that is now over. Andrew might come up with something in the future, but right now he's going to take a well-deserved rest. He'll keep stitching, and he will return to running, but he deserves all the accolades for putting in all that hard work and having the success of a finish. So I have worked on Baldequin Birdies and kept up with all of his running since he started that back in May. And this is the chart. It's by Modern Folk Embroidery. And I am stitching this on a 25 count light mushroom Lugana, and I'm using the Pirate and cotton floss in the color Redstone. So here is where I am. So I have been working on taking this down. So since you've seen it last, all the work has been going right here. I still have a bit to do. I may not get the finish, but I love working on it. And I'm going to keep trying to put, around that many stitches in on Saturday as I had been doing. So that is Baldequin Birdies by Modern Folk Embroidery. And Andrew, thank you for just being you and setting up these goals that most of all that we've been making to honor your running. Okay. The next one is another Christmas stitch, and that I do love, and that is Lit by the Artsy Housewife. And I am stitching this one on a 40 count linen, which is Maple Bar by Cedar River Designs. Did you guys see her 3 new colors? Jody with Cedar River Designs has put out 3 new colors. I know Micah is one. I'm going to forget the other 2. But wow, they are absolutely gorgeous. Okay. And I'm using the Call for Overdyed floss. I was just thinking I might have, gotten some. Okay, anyway, so that is Lit, and here is my progress. So, with a lot of dangling threads, especially from my border. So the border is coming along. It may not look like it, but it is. And then I did some more work on the antlers here. So, oh, it's so cute. So that is Lit by the Artsy Housewife. Won't be finished this Christmas, but that's okay. I'm having a little trouble getting this in the bag here. Hold on just 1 second, tuck it in. Okay. All right, my next whip is, so we're going to be seeing a lot of this one. Okay, because this is going to be my new focus piece, and that is the Smith Sampler by the Scarlet House. It is not my oldest, but it is one of my older whips. And I am stitching this on a piece of 36 count cottage stone by Color and Cotton. I'm using the Call for Silks with a couple of substitutions. This was kitted up at the attic, my first trip there. So this is where I am, and I'm very excited because I've almost got, oh, it's upside down. Okay. This is going to be the bird. It's a lot of threads. Can I get them out of the way? I apologize, but I've been working on this center area. So all of this bird work and this right here is what I've done. And I have decided I'm not going to try to put Smith in here. I'm going to fill it in sort of matching the border. My friend Katherine, Stitching in Costume, graciously sent me a picture of hers, which is what she did, and I'm going to try to sort of match that, and then, you know, I'll have a little bit of Katherine in my finish of the Smith sampler. So this will get 7 days a month until it's finished. So I'm very excited that I've gone ahead and pulled the trigger and made that my focus piece, because I know I'll get it done. And always thank you to Karen, the recovering monogamous stitcher, for that fabulous idea. My next piece is, I think oh no, we still have a few, this is Aria's birth announcement, and I do want this finished for her birthday, which will be mid-November. And I am doing it a little different. I'm using all of the capital letters in here. I am making a statement. So that's where I am, and I'm stitching this on a piece of 32 count historical beige by Fabric Flair. I am using the plain side because it was a piece that fit perfectly. So here is, I feel like I have, here's where I am. I'm going to pause for 1 minute. Okay. Well, maybe it's too much information, but I stopped it because I had a hair in my mouth. And I know that happens to everybody, but at some point, either when I was young, a teenager, certainly where I vividly remember it, I had, you know, really long hippie hair. And, but I got a hair in my mouth, and then I swallowed and it got caught, and oh my goodness, I never want that to happen to me again. So just a little story. But anyway, here we are. So this, so that's her full name, and all the top, I'm pretty sure is done. I will take another look, but I think I've got all the back stitching. Look how cute this little, is that a porcupine, a hedgehog? I don't know, but it is so cute. So I am confident that I will have this done on time in a frame for little Miss Aria and her first birthday. Okay. Next we have, I did get just a few stitches in this, but I am terribly behind. This is one stitch at a time. This was the stitch along organized by the fabulous Sarah of Sew Me Sarah for the Across the Pond group. And she had it all broken up, and I kept up with it till I hit the house. And then I spun out, and I'm very behind. But the house is done, so I'm trying to get some stitches in it because we are going to have another one. So I encourage you all to go, if you go on Facebook, to look for Across the Pond, and you'll have to answer some questions, and you can sign up and see what we choose to do for the 2026 year. So this is by Lottie Da. I'm stitching this on a 40 count wheat by Fiber on a Whim, and I am using the called for overdyed floss. So what I have worked on was all this area right in here. So that is, and I think I had to put the windows in, a couple of just the glass part of the windows. So I need to do a little work on this so that maybe I could have it done by the end of the year. So that's one stitch at a time by Lottie Da. And it's been great fun. A lot of people have stitched this. And I know one of my friends is making a stitching mat out of it, which I would have loved to have had I have a little retreat coming up also mid-November, which is very local, and it's just a sweet, sweet retreat. Really looking forward to it because I can drive back and forth and to get to spend some time. But she was going to make a stitching mat. So Claire, I've got you in my heart and in my thoughts. So, okay. And then this is my 2 threads a day. And this was Disagree by Rebel Stitcher. And I purchased this in the 2025 Nashville market. It may have been my only purchase. I can't swear. Well, I do think now I do have From Velvet to Linen by Kathy Barrick, but this is what I did purchase at the time. It says, we can disagree and still love each other unless your disagreement is rooted in my oppression and denial of my humanity and my right to exist. This is something that at the present time I need to keep thinking about. So it's my 2 threads a day, and I am absolutely blown away because my decision has been to do all of this and then do the words because the words will go fast. And I want to show you because I started my 2 threads a day right after I recorded my last FlossTube. And I was, I think, in this motif, and look where I am now. So I've come around. That just shows you the progress you can get with 2 threads a day. But is that not gorgeous? This is on a piece of 40 count Ancient by Picture This Plus. I am using I left it in here. Let me get that out. I think it's a Cottage Garden thread. Is that right? Yes, a Cottage Garden thread in the color Midnight. And I'm just agog and aghast. So I can see this being a finish in not too long. So that is Disagree by Colleen, the Rebel Stitcher. And that will be my 2 threads a day. And then finally is one of my favorites. It's Fairy Reindeer. I love her so much. This is by the Artsy Housewife. And I'm stitching this on a piece of 36 count colored cotton by a piece of 32 count heirloom lace by Colored Cotton. And this is where I am. So she's really coming on. I know there's still a lot of stitching here, but once I get this done, it's just those cute socks. I can't wait. So she is so sweet. So that's Fairy Reindeer, and that was from her Patreon. And those are my works in progress. So that wasn't so bad. But I am, it's just so much fun. So my plans, so let me tell you what. The WIPGO numbers were 22 and 3. And 3 was Eddie and Patsy, and I have finished that. So, I could consider that I started Be Not a Dunce and put it in that spot, or, I could start something else. But anyway, I'm thrilled that it's Red Deer Sampler because I put quite a bit of work into Red Deer Sampler in the month of September because it is a piece I have in common with Steph of Lake Girl Stitches, and that was her birthday month. So I'm hoping to get a lot of work done on Red Deer Sampler and the Smith Sampler. So I'm sort of just kind of transitioning into my plans. You just saw my piece for two threads a day, and my focus piece will be the Smith Sampler. So that is what I will continue with my, continuing Christmas stitching on Sundays. And then, I always do a little stitching, usually between 5 and 7, which I call my happy hour stitch. And those are usually on smalls, and I want to want to really get the French hen done, which is the Satsuma Street kit that I have started. So that's, you know, kind of what I want to do with my life when I grow up for the month of November. I did have, I had one purchase, which is, yeah, the 2025 Modern Folk Embroidery, 2026 Modern Folk Embroidery Stitch Along. But look at it. Oh my goodness. I think I want to do it on 56 count as well. If not, maybe 46. I haven't looked at the, I've also thought about those painter threads that are so variegated. I don't know, but yeah, I had to do it. So how many of you are going to do it? Please let me know in the comments, and maybe we can, we'll have a piece that we can stitch along together. But what it says is, large streams from little fountains flow, tall oaks from little acorns grow. And what he has given you a choice of is that you can do these vertically or you can do these horizontally. So you can put this one and then put that one in a horizontal pattern. Jacob is gorgeous. And Jacob, because I belong to his Patreon, Jacob actually asked us a lot of questions about what we would like. And so a lot of this designing has come from the preferences that that we chose, which is just wonderful. So that is Little Acorns by Modern Folk Embroidery. So I did do that. So to recap, we're going to pause Zooms until the first of the year. I do have the giveaway of Red Rhapsody by Rosewood Manor, and the color of the keyword will be red. So I think, and L. Kate Stitches, you were the winner of the Diana Bloom designs. So just shoot me an email with the pattern that you would like, and we will get that out to you right away. So yeah, we're all doing good. I think that the race through the holidays has started. So let's all remember that they're a wonderful time, they're a wonderful family time, but they are not always a wonderful time for everyone. And let's try to be aware of that, and you know, help where we can, and be there for someone that it may be a hard time for. So let's love. Let's be empathetic, compassionate, strong. Let's be there for each other. Let's be the force that I know we are, out in the world making things beautiful, because we can do that. We can do that. So I think I've covered everything on the table. So I'm going to ask you to grab your stitching, get comfortable, and stitch what you love. Every single one of you mean the world to me. You have had my back. You have held me up. You have loved my family. So I'm going to say goodbye until next time.
All right, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you stretching So like mom this morning? Is that what you're doing? You're doing the downward dog? Press it. You wanna press it again? I think Arya likes the scary dog.